Hey guys, hopefully you can see this right now. Sorry about the delay for the video. Can you guys hear this? Can you hear that? All right, guys. I think we're up and running, and hopefully we can get this feed going here. I want to thank you for coming and visiting us on Thursday's baseball feed. And all right, guys. Let's do this. So I want to keep it really pretty simple today. I am going to just go over basically one of the things that that stands out to me in regards to USA baseball bat technology over the last 2 years. Now, I don't know if last week I did a video on how the difference between the U-Trip and the USA baseball bats are actually very similar in terms of what they are from the very beginning, and then they basically are just do lazy research and development in order to get that USA bat stamp, and they do that by throwing some stuff on the inside of the barrel. I have touched on how the Rawlings Quattro Pro BB Core bat is a superior two-piece composite example of a BB Core bat, and the reason being is because the governor, or ring as a lot of people will call it, is actually not physically attached to the inside of the barrel. So one of the things that Rawlings does is they have clearly tried to make an effort to make a USA bat to the new standards that is truly unique from the rest of their bats. And they're not just taking a U-Trip Quattro Pro and throwing a ring in it. That's just not happening with the Rawlings bats. That's one of the reasons why the 2020 Rawlings Quattro Pro, the two-piece all composite maroon bat, is hands down, it's the best stock USA bat out there. I mean, that's just all there is to it. Every other bat that I can think of has a governor or a ring or some kind of restriction on the inside of the barrel that's physically attached to the outside wall of the bat. And when it comes to the Rawlings product, that's just not the case. But I wanted to kind of go into another thing, why I like the 5150 as well. It's not quite, you know, where the Quattro Pro is, but when it comes to working on a bat for me, the 5150 is phenomenal, and I'm about to show you why. I also wanted to kind of just give you guys an idea of some of the stuff that I pull out of these bats, these USA bats, and there's just all kinds of stuff that I pull out of the inside of them. So I'm going to show some to you here. Let me just get my TV right. So it looks like my picture is pretty grainy. So I'm going to show some to you, Kurt. Just get my TV right. Okay, so here I've got some examples of governors or rings that are actually being put inside of a U-Trip bat, essentially, and then these right here are the things that are getting the USA stamp for these manufacturers because they're not trying to do anything else new to get that stamp. So basically they just got to make the bat dead. So here's a governor example. It's got two gigantic silver rings on this one right here, and that I believe is out of an old Louisville. And then we've got, let's see here, I believe that these two right here, this one right here, which is a kind of a composite disc, is actually out of some DeMarini product for the USA bats. And then there's this one right here, which is actually one of the governors that's in the BB Core DeMarini product. Now, and there's one more I wanted to show you. And this one right here, now I've drilled a hole through the middle of it, but take a look at this. This is this is an example of the restriction ring that's in a DeMarini Zen USA bat, or I believe also the 719. But I think actually this is just for the composite. But anyways, it gives you an idea of, and this is a solid piece of metal. It actually is just, I drilled a hole through the middle of it because I needed to access it. But anyways, that's the kind of stuff that's getting put on the inside of these bats, and that's why these bats are so dead, because they're basically trying to make it like a wooden bat. And that's essentially what the USA standard was put in place for in the first place. So that's not surprising. I mean, I'd do the same thing if I was a manufacturer and I didn't have anything new to give to the customer, and I didn't want to spend money on something new. So 2.5 years have passed since the USA standard was implemented, and the first bat that I can think of that really went outside the box and made an effort to kind of design and develop a bat within the confines of the USA restrictions is the 2020 Rawlings Quattro Pro USA bat. It's a drop 12, and that bat is just phenomenal. Like I said, the governor is actually not physically attached to the inside of the wall of the bat. So that's your best stock bat out there for USA, hands down. The other thing I wanted to say is that this 5150 right here, such a bang for your buck bat. Rawlings just doesn't get enough love. I keep saying that, and I'll continue to say that till the day I don't work here anymore, which hopefully will be never. But you know, this is a 5150, and I've actually removed the end cap so you guys can see inside of it. Now, a lot of the bats that are going to be USA bats, if I remove the end cap, what you're going to see is you're going to see a tiny kind of a ring that's going to be on the inside of the barrel, and it's going to look like basically like an I-beam, steel I-beam, run around the inside of the barrel of the bat. and that is going to be your ring or your governor. Now those rings are actually attached to the alloy barrel or composite barrel of the bat, and that is what gives the bat the restriction needed in order to get a USA stamp. So the other thing, the one thing that I like about the 5150 is that if you look up here, and I'm going to see if I can get you guys focused on this. My camera's pretty dicey right now, so I apologize. We've got a little delay. All right, so I don't know if you can see or not, but there is a kind of a lip there in the inside of the barrel. Now this is the 5150 Rawlings version of the restriction ring. Now what makes this bat so great to work on from a re-engineering standpoint is the fact that that lip is actually molded in, it's actually part of the original alloy barrel. So there is no aftermarket ring put on the inside of a U-trip bat. This ring, that ridge right there is part of the barrel. And because of that, when I work on this particular bat, I can get a lot more performance and a lot more durability out of this 5150 than I can out of, let's say, a Louisville or a DeMarini USA bat, or an Easton for that matter, because I can basically machine just the barrel, and I don't have to worry about actually removing a ring, because I don't consider that a ring. I consider that just increased thickness on the wall of the bat. So that's actually engineered in there for the USA bat standard. Thank you, Rawlings. So that's 2 bats that they have on the market right now, which prove that they're actually giving an effort to comply with the USA standard, and they're doing so by giving a new offer, a new bat, and it's something a little bit different than what they've already got up in the U-Trip and BB Core arena. And they're not just recycling product. And 3 of the, Rawlings the only one that I can think of that's doing it in USA right now. Maybe Easton with the Ghost series, and definitely not DeMarini and Louisville. They're just not. They're just taking U-Trip bats and you know, recycling them. So let me see here. So that's kind of what I wanted to touch on with that one. So from a baseball bat standpoint, this USA 5150, you can get these things for like less than $100. And if you send it to me, I will make sure that this thing gets worked on pretty decent, and we will make this USA bat, which is primarily dead from the manufacturer, quite the hitting tool. And I'll even do some stuff to mitigate the sound differences that I'll create based upon the material that I'm taking out of the barrel. So anyways, that's that. And since I started super late today, I'm gonna go ahead and just open it up. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask them. I'm gonna do I'm gonna get something to drink. This is not a product placement, but have you ever had this like Jumex juice from Mexico? This stuff's amazing, so I'm thirsty. Anybody want to chime in with a question? That would be phenomenal. Hey Steven, how you doing? Kevin's here, Nate's here. Let's see here. Well, in that case, let's talk about since we're talking about baseball bats, one of the things that I'm going to start doing here is we're going to be doing bat resizing. So what I'm going to start doing is, and this is something that anybody can call up, and this is not a service that we actually offer, but I will be starting to offer a service which is not going to be on our website, but if you want to call in or email us in addition to an order on a bat that you make, what I can do is we're going to start doing some stuff with resizing these bats. Now, what that really does is it's going to give parents of kids who are growing like, you know, weeds, the ability to maybe have a bat for a year longer without having to buy a new one that's a different size or a different weight, or maybe somebody in high school who can't get a hold of that ever popular 32-29-inch bat that's so popular in BB Core arena. And what I can do with resizing for that person is I can take this bat right here, which is a 34-inch Metaprime. Now this barrel is going to be an 1.5 inches longer than the one on the 32-29, which is 2 inches less than this. Now, obviously, what you're going to end up getting out of that is you're going to get an extended barrel, and yeah, it's pretty cool little idea, I think. Who doesn't want more barrel? The sweet spot's going to be bigger, and that's just something I'm going to start doing here. So if you guys have any questions or anybody wants to reach out to us and let me do a bat for you, I'd be more than happy to. I can add length, take length away, add weight. I can get this thing to get a drink for you from the refrigerator when you're sitting on your couch. There's not a lot I can't do with bat. So anyway, that's about it. And we're also going to be implementing a service that's going to be called Swing Match, I believe. I think my boss named it. But I had an idea, and this is mainly for the slow pitch guys, or yeah, mainly for the slow pitch guys, because I'm big on feel. All right, I think feel is something that's tremendously overlooked in this industry, and I think it's just as important as any technology that these guys are coming out with. And because of that, I have played around with weighting on bats like nobody around, and I've kind of come up with a proprietary way to kind of differentiate between swing weight and feel, which is, they're pretty close, but I've got a kind of a machine that I kind of put together that what it does is it measures weight on in like 5 different places on a bat, from handle to cap, and it is basically gives me an indication of, I can take one bat, weigh it, and take different measurements from those 5 different locations, and basically I can make a brand new bat, which somebody buys, like let's say a Miken Freak 23 or something like that, but they want it to feel like their OG Juggy that they love, that they've got in the garage, that if they wish they could swing it but they can't because they took it out on a cold night in the wintertime and snapped it, So everyone's got a bat that's sitting around the garage that they like the feel of. So if you send it to us, we'll perform the Swing Match service. We haven't put it up on our site yet, like I said, but it's a pretty sweet idea, I think. And it's a little bit subjective, honestly, because we got the feel is something that's so hard to measure. But I can promise you this much: if you let us, if you send us an old bat that's broken and you like the way it feels, and you buy a new bat from us, I will do whatever is in my power to make that new bat feel almost exactly like the other one, the one that feels like an old T-shirt when you put it on. So anyway, that's about it for what we're gonna do. And oh, I got my first frowny face, so that's probably not very good. But anyway, I'm gonna cut out early today if nobody has any other questions. And I wanted to thank everybody for stopping by. I'm gonna get some bat work done, but next week is gonna be pretty sweet because I'm gonna be doing the bulk of our product reviews on our website, and they're gonna be uploaded next week. At least that's the plan. So when you go to our website and you order a bat, you're gonna be able to see an actual video from me on the particular bat that you're looking to buy, and it's not going to be biased. It's not going to talk about technology in the bat. It's just going to talk about what my opinion is of the bat and how it applies to particular players. That's about all I'm going to touch on with these things. So, and I'm not trying to show any bad outlook towards DeMarini or anything like that. So I'm going to be completely unbiased and just give you guys some objective information. So. Thank you very much for joining us, and you guys have a good Thursday, and I'll see you again next week. Thanks.